just take me a minute. Okay, let me just get us live on Facebook today. Facebook has been giving me a bit of a hard time, so. All right, we're going to go live here.
Okay.
All right, it looks like we're live. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Okay, give us 1 second here to make sure all the technology is working, Catherine. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Yeah, well, Catherine and I were just talking about heaven forbid, right? Everything just goes smoothly every time. That would be too easy, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, it looks like we are, oh my gosh, it's working, Catherine. You're good luck. You're good luck. All right, well, let me do a little introduction here, Catherine, and then I look forward to talking with you directly. So I just want to say welcome. Happy Tuesday afternoon. It's great to be here with all of you in the Women's Migraine Freedom Group. I am not the lovely Debbie. Sorry about that, but I am thrilled to be here. Okay, my name is Erin Salem, and you've seen me pop in and out of this group. My job on the team is I primarily work as the client success coach in the Freedom from Migraine method group. So it's nice to jump back and forth between the groups today. All right, if you're watching this call live, I know the amazing Barbie, our team member, is with us in the group today. So if you're here live, please drop a hello and emoji. And if you end up watching this on the replay, please put hashtag replay so we know that you're able to access this content. All right. And why are we here today? We do these weekly migraine strategy calls to share, expert information related to migraines, or as in the case today, which I find so much fun, to have our amazing graduates from our Freedom from Migraine Method program share their journey and how they're finding their version of migraine freedom with you. All right, and today I'm thrilled to be here with Catherine. She is a recent graduate of the Freedom from Migraine Method program. All right, and thank you so much for joining us today, Catherine. You're here migraine free, and what are you doing in 2 days?
Moving.
I think they're both equally awesome. No migraines and moving, and you look lovely and you're here on time. You get bonus points today. You get all the bonus points. Before we start our conversation, Catherine, let me just share some things you shared with us about your biography or bio info here. Catherine's family is made up of her husband, her grown children, and grandchildren. How many grandchildren do you have, Catherine?
Well, 6 is the number because one is due in just a few weeks.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. All right. That's wonderful. Catherine and her husband both work from home. It sounds like he's in IT and she is enjoying retirement, which I'm sure means you're very busy. Like we said, she has 2 kids who are married and going on 6 grandchildren. She loves walking, biking, cooking, sewing, gardening, and crafts. Catherine went from, it sounds like pretty much every month, a good 3 days missed of life to no days missed in life. She shared, well, she still has an occasional migraine every month and a half or so. It's at a much lower level and she can pretty much function through it. And I love your honesty, Catherine. You've always been so honest. You wrote here that you're very aware now of why you might get those migraines and that your body's still healing and adjusting. And I love it. You said it's when I push the carb limit too far. I love your honesty. And I just want to say, Catherine, it's been a joy to have you in the Freedom from Migraine Method program. And I give you such great credit. I know you've worked hard and I'm just so happy for you and your family that you're finding some relief. Is there anything I missed on that basic bio for you that you want to share?
No, that was good, but also want to say that I previously worked a program. I'm not sure if I should say the name or not, but
no, you don't have to say the name. You can just kind of give us some context. That would be great.
Yeah, and that was for 3 years prior, but I was still, like you mentioned, I still had been missing about 3 days a month, 2 to 3 days, where I would be laid up in bed, and it really wasn't getting better. It seemed to be almost getting worse again. And so that was when I was getting a little desperate again. And thank God I did find you guys. So that helped.
Wonderful. Well, you did a great job transitioning us in the talk here today. So I have here that you, my first question for you is, one, I want to make sure we're clear. I have it written here that you had suffered from migraines for 37 years before this program. Is that correct? Did I write that down correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, at first I didn't even know they were migraines, but a migraine specialist told me, yeah, you had migraines and that I shouldn't be in denial. And it's like, well, first of all, I didn't even know I had migraines. So how can I be in denial of something I don't even know? But they started out with a lot of neck and headaches, neck pain, upper back pain, which I know now is just kind of precursors of a migraine. And so I medicated with lots of ibuprofen and chiropractic care and kind of went through the whole gamut of things. I'm not sure if you want me to go through all that or not, but.
Yeah, actually what I was going to say, well, number one, let's honor 37 years. That's almost 4 decades of pain. And I want to point out here something you said so well, and I can relate to, I'm a part of the team now, but the way I found this was I'm a former client and graduate myself. I'm forever grateful I found this program, and I now live migraine free. What becomes normal? I love what you said about okay, these are migraines, that's good to know, but the pain becomes so normal, missing the days of your life, the medication, just the misery becomes so normal. I mean, 40 years, you're obviously young and lovely and have lots of life. And that's the majority of your life. That's pretty staggering if you think about it that way, right?
Yeah, really. It started right after the birth of my first child, and it had nothing to do with my child, of course.
Yeah, no, children are not to blame.
And I have had scoliosis my whole life. And so I thought, yeah, it's back and neck pain, and I just get headaches on occasion. And like I say, I medicated with ibuprofen a lot, to the point where probably a decade into that, I was taking it, the recommended major dose of 3 every 4 to 6 hours. And yeah, that wasn't good. It was actually amazing that my kidney survived. But, and then eventually I got diagnosed with Rynitus, which was wrong. And he said, if you start having worse headaches, then I'll send you to a specialist. So he did. And that was the one who told me that I shouldn't be in denial. And then he put me on preventative drugs like Amitriptyline, which of course I slept a good, good 12 hours a day. And I still felt like I could fall asleep anytime. And then they put me on Nortriptyline, which was supposed to be less sleepy, but it still eventually got that way. And then Topomax, which kind of basically erased my brain for a while, which was horrible. They call it Dopamax, I guess. It's a good name.
Yeah, that's serious brain fog. No joke, brain fog. Yeah.
It was scary, and I did the Imitrex, and I did Relpax was actually one of my better ones because it didn't cause me to be so crazy nauseous and weird like Imitrex. And then I went through like the CAT scans and the nerve tests and pretty much anything out there, Botox, whatever. Tried them all.
Okay. Well, let's pause here and take a deep breath. So 37 years of pain, becoming normal. How many people listening to this interview right now or watching the replay can relate to decades of pain? And almost, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Catherine, but I often felt like a guinea pig of the medical group of like, let's try this. Oh, wait, okay, those side effects are worse. Oh, let's try this, and then it becomes your normal, then becomes pain, and then navigating the side effects, right, of whatever you're trying to proactively combat that pain. Is that a pretty accurate description, do you think?
Definitely, especially once I started seeing that migraine specialist. And they'd have you fill out little questionnaires as to whether or not you felt kind of depressed. And initially I didn't, but by the end of seeing him over, I don't know, maybe a year or so, I really truly was feeling depressed because he was giving me all these medications and they weren't helping. They were actually making it worse. And and that was my thought. I didn't have any, like clear evidence of that, but other than the fact it wasn't working and I was feeling worse. But medically, of course, they tell you the opposite. So yeah, it was not good. And so they want you to, you're kind of a victim of their system in a sense, I would say, because they would ask if you want to try whatever's kind of the latest drug. And because I was desperate, of course, yeah. And I believe that medical people knew exactly what they were doing. My mom was an RN, and I thought, yeah, I should believe them, but came to doubt them pretty severely over time.
Well, and I think, I'm going to sound just like Debbie, and I'm proud to say so. Like, we're not anti-medical profession in this group. We're not anti-med. I think for me, the difference, at least with the Freedom from Migraine program, is there's different approaches, and there's the approach of treating symptoms constantly, right? And then dealing with maybe the side effects of treating those symptoms. And then there's the other way, kind of the whole body, whole medicine approach to healing the source. And it sounds like, you said here, you hit a wall and the drugs no longer worked, no matter how much I took. So I think it sounds like your experience was you were more than willing to try. You were more than willing and open to try new things. But when you can't tell what's causing what anymore, right? You don't know what's worse, the migraines or the effects of everything else. Right.
And that's exactly what happened. And that was when I hit the wall, because I thought, okay, I will do exactly what they tell me. I will take even more than one of these Relpax at a time if necessary to get rid of this. But that actually made it worse. Then my head was just in this complete ball of pain, prodrome, postdrome, I don't know. It was just, it never got out. And I felt like my head was exploding at like a 10 out of 10. And so, yeah, I was crying out to the Lord. It's like, I can't survive like this. I can't, something has to give. Either I have to be on some massive painkiller or something, but this is not going to work. I can't even function.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
As this goes, that was the 3 years ago when I started that other plan. And that at least got me off of all the rebounding drugs. And like you said, I'm not against medicine at all if it's going to work, but it was not helping.
Yeah. Yeah. So pre-Freedom from Migraine method program, I mean, it's incredible. You managed as much as you did, as long as you did. And then you worked in this other program for 3 years. And then you came across Debbie and the Freedom from Migraine method. And I love you literally right here. Thank God that is when I found the program. I love that quote. What in that moment? So obviously 37 years of suffering, 3 years of this other program. What in that moment made you like just literally take a leap of faith and say, okay, I'm going to give this a try. Even though I've tried all these other things, I'm going to try this. What allowed you to make that kind of leap of faith?
Well, first of all, that my HSA covered the cost.
See, you're always honest. I always appreciate your honesty. Yep.
And that my husband was very supportive. Okay. And that Debbie talked, like when I saw her in the Facebook group, she talked about getting to the root of the problem. And to me, that spoke volumes to me, because I felt like we've already discussed that so often all the different methods and theories and things that were out there, they would just be kind of like throwing darts at things and kind of like, well, maybe this might work, or this is my plan, join it. But they didn't really have any great confidence that they were getting at the root of it. Plus the whole inflammation thing to me made so much sense, because I'm in menopause and I kept thinking, well, when I reach menopause, I won't have migraines. And she said, that you have to get at the root of the inflammation. And yeah, that was huge.
Yeah. And I think what I hear you saying, that balance of, whole body, whole system, right? But also having group support and women that have been through this, but also an individual support too, because you know, as much as you and I have in common as, you know, former migraine sufferers, or we're very different too, and where we're at in our lives are very different. Did that speak to you at all about, you know, with the program?
Yeah, definitely. In the respect that I really appreciated that I could contact you
Mhm.
at any moment with questions that I had. The other program wasn't like that. I basically read a book, and
Mhm.
there was some Facebook contact, but not a lot.
Mhm.
And that and that I had the other people
Mhm.
talking and giving their stories and learning from them and picking up parts that I was missing and not necessarily connecting 100%. And that was very helpful.
Good.
And just the whole um, attitude, I think, within the group
Mm.
of that, we're, like you mentioned just now, that we are all different. We're all different, but we're kind of in the same journey, and we have to find what's actually really going to work for us personally, because as we all know, as migrainers, there's definitely different little idiosyncrasies within each of us depending on our life situation, and not to push that all at once, but to work with it. In fact, I've heard Debbie say many times, and probably yourself too, Erin, that that to only try one thing at one time, not to go
Yeah.
whole hog and crazy like I guess I did with the other program, which probably wasn't that beneficial to me, but I was desperate once again. And so yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's really healthy. Good.
Yeah. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, you know, Debbie and I often say we repeat some things and it's awesome and annoying, but the reason we do that is because I think when you've been in pain that long and you're in this journey of healing, you know, you have to hear things over and over again to remind ourselves, okay, this is a different approach. This is a new way of looking at this, you know, and it takes some time to make those changes. Wonderful. All right. Well, I'm very biased because I've so enjoyed having you in the program. It's amazing you recently graduated. So what would you say, what does your life look like now? So we talked a lot about what led you up to the program, why you were so grateful you found the program, that you've enjoyed the program and are glad you did it. What does your life look like now? You know, I know you're a very recent graduate, but what does your life look like now these days? What are you enjoying or able to enjoy in your life these days?
Well, I feel like my migraines are no longer controlling me. I feel like I can troubleshoot them a lot better. I can't say that, like you mentioned earlier, that I'm completely migraine free. I mean, that is a goal, but at the same time, once again, you guys mentioned that's not necessarily like the goal. The goal should be increasingly getting healthier.
Yep.
And having a better mindset around the whole thing. And eventually it will come.
Yeah.
And that's a good reminder for me, because I tend to like a challenge, and I'm pretty stubborn. So,
Oh, I love it. I love it.
so I tend to, go towards things pretty, assertively or aggressively, I guess you could say, and so it's good for me to be reminded of those things, and that's okay. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pause here. Can anyone listening to this now, live or on the replay, can you relate to maybe really wanting to go after things, to wanting to solve things, to wanting to have the answer, to wanting it fixed right now? Once again, I think anyone who's been in pain, right? Catherine, who wants to stay in pain, right? Tell me what to do. I will do it right now, right? I hear you. I hear you. What would your husband say? What would your kids say the difference is after, graduating from the program? Do they notice a difference in you?
Yes. I mean, I think they are just happy that the program is working well for me, that I'm continuing to get healthier, having less migraines, taking away days. In fact, I'd say since I started the program, I know I mentioned to you guys that I had a couple of migraines along the journey from the beginning of December when I joined, but and then I had COVID on top of it. So just learning that even in things like COVID with the known inflammation factor that brings, that I'm doing everything I can possibly do, except for when I cheat too much. But I'm doing all that I can possibly do to be healthier. And to me, that makes the big difference, because it's not like, okay, I'm missing something, that there's something else I can be doing. There's something else, that if I could just find that golden key, then my life would be better. It's like, no, I just need to be consistent in the program and continue living healthy, applying those principles that I've learned in the program, and do that. Even in the middle of a migraine, where I will start thinking, I mean, we've all thought that. It's like, okay, this isn't working, and yet it is, because it does come to an end, and they are less painful and they're less frequent, and it's better. So
that's wonderful. I love here that you stated that, before it was easier to keep track of your good days, right? And the days you weren't losing, right? Because that was easier. Now you are able to enjoy so many days. It's easier to keep track of the few here and there where you're struggling. That switch to me says it all, right? I mean, that's a complete reversal.
Oh yeah, huge. Because like I say, 3 years ago, before I started that other program, I literally was in a constant rebound of migraine. There were, I would say, no migraine free days at all of any sort. Yeah. And whereas now, I would say I don't even lose a day any longer. Oops, I'm sorry. My friend's dog, we're babysitting it, and she's kind of crazy. So she's
wanted to join the conversation. She's very passionate about migraines too.
Oh yeah, she likes to join everything. So.
Well, we welcome friends, family, dogs. It's all welcome here. That's wonderful. All right. Well, I just want to say, Catherine, of course, thank you for your time. And I just want to say, I think when we lose time like that due to migraine and the effects of migraine, it's not just us, it's our loved ones, in your case, your husband, your kids, your grandkids. I'm just so happy for you that you took the leap of faith, that you chose to prioritize yourself and your health. And you were willing to kind of work with Debbie and I and just say, okay, let's give it a try. And here you are, 16 weeks later, fully enjoying your life to the point where your loved ones, I would assume, I know my husband says it feels like, not only do we have our life back, but they have us back. That's a pretty amazing gift to give ourselves and our loved ones,
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right. Well, before we wrap up for today, Catherine, is there anything else you want to share with the group or people watching live or on replay?
Well, if anyone is hesitating or hedging, I would look into your HSA and see if it will fund it, first of all. And then, it is well worth it just to get your life back. I mean, it's not like Debbie always says, it's not like the one thing is the magic cure. It's the compilation of everything and doing the hard work. But we're already doing a lot of hard work before this program, and it's not productive. It's counterproductive. So yes, I would definitely advocate the program, and it's well balanced, and there's a lot of very kind people who are willing to help, like yourself, Erin, and Debbie. And so, yeah, to walk you through step by step. And that's what most of us need, because it's confusing, it's frustrating. And yeah, we're supposed to be living a life we can actually live instead of just struggling day by day.
Wow. Well, I love what you said, here's to you getting your days back. Here's to you no longer losing days. May that continue. What a journey you and your loved ones have been on. And, just know it's been such a true joy and honor supporting you. And please know that, thank you for your kind words. Debbie, myself, Barbie, Amber, the whole team works very hard, and it is a true joy. Anytime we get to have these great conversations. Like, I love these kind of before and after. I guess we'll call them migraine makeover.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, like, this was my life before, this is my life now. I mean, just to see you on the screen, to see you smile, to see you sitting up straight. You know, I remember the first time we talked, you know, just to see the physical change in you, and to have you want to show up here migraine free 2 days before you move, with a grandbaby on the way, and you're like, sure, I'll come talk to you. I think that's the best endorsement ever. All right. All right. Well, to everyone watching live or on the replay, thank you so much for joining this call today. If you have any questions for Catherine, for Debbie, myself, or anyone on the team, please don't hesitate to put those in the comments below. All right. We look forward to our next migraine strategy call, which will be back at our regular time next week, next Tuesday, which I can't believe is May 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Thank you so much, Catherine. Best wishes to you and your family. Please keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing, okay?
Yes,
And
thank you.
yeah, and let's all go out and enjoy the rest of our day. Migraine free, hopefully, right? Take
For
care.
sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.